Have you ever wondered how far a parent will go to turn a child's basic needs into a weapon of war just to prove they are right? The story begins in the quiet, calculated rhythm of a Tuesday evening. The sun is setting, casting long shadows across the living room floor where a child, let's call him Alex, sits waiting. Alex is 11 years old. He has a mother, Jen, who has him every weekend and a father who has him during the week. By all accounts, the father is the primary caregiver, the one who pays the bills, the one who holds the legal reins, and the one who earns a significantly higher income than his ex-wife. Because of this arrangement, there is no child support to be paid. It is a unique financial landscape, but one that has quickly turned into a battlefield over something as seemingly mundane as a t-shirt. For years, the father made it his personal mission to ensure Alex looked presentable. He bought him nice clothes. He ensured that when the child was with him, he was dressed in quality, in clothes that lasted, in clothes that made him feel safe and cared for. But the moment Alex was dropped off at Jen's apartment on Sunday mornings, a different reality seemed to take over. The pattern started subtly, a slow erosion that was hard to spot until the closet was nearly empty. When the father would go to pick Alex up from the weekend, the clothes Alex was wearing would be gone. Not just the ones he wore to school, but the clothes he had worn to sleep, the ones he had worn to play. They would vanish into thin air. At first, the father didn't notice. He assumed the clothes were just lost, or perhaps the child had outgrown them and they were hidden in a drawer somewhere. But as the seasons changed, as the wardrobe began to thin out, the realization hit with the force of a cold wind. The clothes weren't lost, they were being taken. The father, confused and concerned, finally confronted Jen. He asked her where the clothes were going. He asked if she could perhaps send them back when she saw Alex on the weekend, or at least return the ones he had washed and sent with him in his backpack. He thought this was a simple request between co-parents. He thought he was advocating for a child who was losing his possessions. What followed was not a conversation, it was a war. Jen's response was immediate and defensive. She didn't admit to taking the clothes. Instead, she claimed that everything Alex was wearing belonged to her, that she had bought them, and that the father had no right to them. She escalated the situation to the legal realm, filing a complaint that accused the father of theft and interference. It became a legal nightmare, a costly ordeal that drained the father's resources and his peace of mind. He had to pull out every single receipt, proving purchase dates, proving ownership, proving that these were his clothes, bought with his money, intended for his son. The legal fees were astronomical, the stress was suffocating, but eventually the court saw the receipts. They saw the pattern. They saw that the father was not the thief but the victim. Jen was ordered to return the clothes. But did she stop? No, the legal victory did not bring peace. It only brought a new kind of cruelty. After the court order, the father decided to change his strategy. He realized that if he sent Alex in nice clothes, they would disappear. They would be taken, sold, given to family, or returned damaged. So he made a calculated, cold decision. He stopped buying nice clothes for the weekends. Instead, he began dressing Alex in the clothes that Jen had sent him to him, the ones that were already worn, the ones that didn't look great. Or he bought him cheap thrift store clothes, clothes that he didn't care about, clothes that, if they disappeared, would be a loss he could easily absorb. This was the father's way of protecting his son from the theft, but it came with a heavy cost. It was a form of punishment, a way to say, if you will not let me care for my child properly, then I will not care for him in the way I used to. And then the accusations began. A text message arrived from Jen, or perhaps through a mutual acquaintance, or maybe even a social media post. The accusation was sharp. You are cruel. You are sending your child to me in trash. You make more money than me. You should just buy nicer clothes and let me keep them. You are being petty. The father read the message and felt a surge of cold anger. He responded with a statement of fact. He told them that if Jen wanted nicer clothes for the child, she could go buy some. She had money. She made decent money. She had choices. She chose to go on vacation. She chose to spend her money on herself, on trips, on luxuries, while the child was left in clothes that were disappearing. He found it ridiculous that she was trying to steal the child's entire closet while she had the means to provide better. But the narrative was being twisted. The father's sister, a well-meaning but perhaps short-sighted relative, called him out. She told him that he was being petty. She told him that he should just give her some clothes. She said, just let it go. Don't be so hard on her. Give her some of your nice clothes. The father sat there staring at the phone, feeling the weight of the question. Should he just give in? Should he start buying her nice clothes again, just to stop the accusations, just to keep the peace, just to be the good father in the eyes of everyone else? The answer lies in the child, Alex. Alex is 11. He is old enough to understand what is happening and young enough to be confused by it. When the father asked Alex if he cared about the clothes, the child's response was chillingly simple. Alex told his father that when it was time to head home on Sunday, the only clothes he had were the crappy ones. The nice clothes, the ones he had put on to get washed, had vanished. There was a specific incident that haunted the father. A nice coat. A coat Alex had worn everywhere, a coat that kept him warm. When it was time to leave, the coat was gone. Jen had rushed Alex out the door without it, leaving him shivering in the cold, wearing something else or worse, nothing at all. Sometimes the clothes would show up again, days later or weeks later, returned in a state of disrepair. Sometimes they were damaged. Sometimes they were sold online. Sometimes they were given to family members who had no right to them. The father never knew. He never knew what happened to the things he had bought for his son. Alex also told his father that he refused to go to school in those types of clothes, but the father had already solved that problem. He picked Alex up before Monday school started, so the child never had to wear the weekend clothes to the classroom. Jen dropped Alex off at 8 on Sunday morning. The child was not going out to see friends on the weekend because Jen refused to drive him. He was not participating in sports because Jen refused to drive him to weekend practices or games. The child was being isolated, stripped of his dignity, and stripped of his possessions, all while the mother claimed she was the one being wronged. The father realized that the issue was not about the clothes. It was about control. It was about power. By taking the clothes, Jen was asserting dominance. By refusing to buy clothes, she was forcing the father to pay for everything, to be the one who looked like the provider, while she played the victim. And now, by accusing him of cruelty, she was trying to turn the narrative back on him. The question remains, should the father give in? Should he start buying her nice clothes again? Should he ignore the theft, the lies, and the cruelty, just to satisfy his sister's plea for peace? If he gives in, he admits that her accusations have merit. He admits that he is the cruel one. He admits that the theft of the child's clothes is acceptable as long as he pays for it. He admits that he will continue to be the one who pays for everything, while she takes, sells, and destroys, and then demands more. He admits that he will let the child be the pawn in her game, wearing clothes that are taken away from him, while she goes on vacation. If he continues to dress the child in thrift store clothes, or the clothes that Jen sends him, he is protecting the child from the theft. He is teaching the child that his father will not let him be taken advantage of, even if it means the child looks a bit rougher than usual. He is teaching the child that his father is there for him, even when the mother is not. He is teaching the child that he is not a victim, even if he is being treated like one. But is it right to let a child wear clothes that are crappy? Is it right to let a child go without a coat because it was stolen? Is it right to let a child be isolated because the mother refuses to drive him? The father is trying to get full custody. He knows that the court will look at these details. They will look at the theft. They will look at the isolation. They will look at the refusal to provide basic needs. They will look at the lies. And he knows that if he starts buying her nice clothes, he will be seen as the one who is fixing the problem, the one who is being reasonable. But he knows that this is not a problem that can be fixed with clothes. It is a problem that can only be fixed with the child being safe, with the child being loved, with the child being free from the mother's manipulation. The father is not petty. He is not cruel. He is a father who is trying to protect his son from a mother who is using the child as a weapon. He is trying to navigate a system that is broken, a system that allows a parent to steal their child's clothes and then sue the other parent for theft. So what would you do? Would you give in to the sister's advice, buy the nice clothes and hope the theft stops? Or would you continue to dress the child in thrift store clothes, accepting the accusations, to protect the child from further harm? Would you let the child wear the crappy clothes, or would you find a way to ensure the child always has something decent to wear, regardless of where they are? The answer is not in the clothes. The answer is in the custody battle. The answer is in the court of public opinion. The answer is in the heart of a father who loves his son more than he loves being right. The father knows that he is not the one who is cruel. He knows that the real cruelty is in the theft, in the lies, in the isolation. He knows that he is the one who is trying to do the right thing, even if it means looking like the bad guy. He knows that the child is the one who is suffering, the one who is losing his dignity, the one who is losing his clothes. And so the father stands his ground. He continues to dress the child in thrift store clothes. He continues to send the child to school in the clothes he can afford. He continues to fight for full custody, not for the clothes, but for the child. He knows that one day the child will understand. One day the child will thank him for not giving in, for not letting the mother win, for not letting the theft continue. Until then, the father will keep washing the clothes. He will keep packing the backpack. He will keep waiting for the child to come home, safe and warm, even if the clothes are not perfect. Because in the end, the clothes don't matter. The child does, and the father will do whatever it takes to protect him. What would you do? Drop it in the comments.